Tiki Talkie, first person in here. What's going on? Oh, I don't know what's going on with my voice. Yo, no live with Barry today. I didn't think about that. If I'm being dead honest, I did not think about that at all. Me and Barry were gonna try and go live yesterday, but we didn't end up going live because I got bit. Well, I ended up having to do a family dinner, but I did not think about that. But C2, what's going on? Tiki Talkie, what's going on? JBFH, what's going on? Two new pickups. Um, I know like C2 knows what one of them is. Um Tiki Taki knows what one of them is because he guessed it. One of them is what I wore as my fragrance of the day yesterday, and then one of them you guys don't know which one it is. Dan Martin, pretty sure this is my dad. If it is my dad, thank you for joining in. You sound sick, Micah. You all right? Yeah, like I said, I was fine. That's why I went over and grabbed my water, but I don't know. I was just trying to talk and got no clue. Got Yellow Dream. I was saying in the last live, Yellow Dream is good if you want a citrusy but like gingery fragrance. It combines citrusy freshness with like those warm, spicy, like gingery fragrances. So you do get a combination of like a warm weather and a cool weather fragrance. Therefore, it just kind of makes Yellow Dream good for year round, which Yellow Dream I think you could rock year round. Personally, me, I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's like this like lemon sugar cookie or something like that. Eternity Air, what you yesterday. Eternity Air, what you yesterday. Oh, are you saying Eternity Air and what I wore yesterday? Well, yes, Eternity Air is the fragrance that I guess I shouldn't have said nobody knows the fragrance because then I realized I posted 2 videos on it already. But Calvin Klein's Eternity Air is my fragrance of the day. And this is a fragrance that I picked up yesterday. And then Risasi Hawas Ice is another one. I got it 2 days ago, but I unboxed it yesterday. So I guess you can kind of say I got both of these yesterday. They're both super, super good. Eternity Air, I have it on right now. It's like a mix between Jimmy Choo Man, Gucci Guilty Black, and Calvin Klein Eternity. It is pretty good. I enjoy this one. And then Hawas Ice is like Rasasi Hawas mixed with YSLY. It has this like candied green apple note right off at the top that's super prominent. So good. It's so good. Yellow Dream is the only one I like from Valentino. Other than that, you don't care for the Intense or Coral Fantasy. I had the Intense, and I think like the Intense is good, but as far as just like a powdery lavender fragrance goes, I have so many of those in my collection. I have some that last longer. I have some that project more. I have some that last less and project least, but I just simply enjoyed them more than Born Aroma Intense. I wore that fragrance like 4 times. And it wasn't bad. I mean, I enjoyed it. My girlfriend enjoyed it. I could wear it in the heat, but all around, it's just not an insane fragrance. Eros, 10 of the day, going to the Jackson Museum. C2, is that just Eros EDT or what Eros? Eternity line is underrated. I tried the original Eternity and I thought it was pretty good. And that fragrance came out in the 90s, but Eternity is just like a fresh, citrusy, woodsy fragrance. It's a pretty good fragrance, slightly warm, but it's pretty fresh. I have Hawas Ice. It's good. Yes, Hawas Ice is super good. Now, I don't know which one I prefer, this one or Hawas. This, I get about the same longevity with them. I get about a foot or so, I really like a foot or two less projection with Hawas Ice, but that's not that bad because I get like 8 to 9 hours with Hawas Ice with a foot or two of projection. With Hawas, I get like 8 to 9 hours with like 3 to 4 feet of projection. So this one isn't as, strong, but it's still definitely good. And if anything, maybe a little easier to wear in the summer. But I could not smell this one, and I ended up finally blowing my nose, and I could actually smell this fragrance, and it was so good. In my review, I was smelling it, and I'm like, in my review, I'm smelling it, and I'm like, yeah, it smells good. It kind of just smells like Hawas. But then I could actually finally smell it. Oh my God, it's so good. Absolutely amazing. But again, I don't know which one I like more. Hawas or Hawas Ice. They're both absolutely phenomenal. Scent of the day, MFK, Amorous Ohm EDT. What does that one smell like? For some weird reason, Amorous, I would think like a floral amber, but I don't know. You ain't at school. I'm on spring break right now. So today until Friday is my spring break for this year. Posted Florida winning the SEC tournament. Was not expecting that to get so many views. How many views did it get, C2? Arrows EDT got you, C2. Arrows EDT is good. That's another one. I ended up selling it. I have Arrows Flame. I want to get Arrows Eau de Parfum. I would want to get Arrows Energy. I think Arrows Energy is good. And now that I don't have Explorer or anything with that Aventus DNA, Arrows Energy wouldn't be bad. It's a citrus vanilla iris with a touch of chocolate and coconut. That sounds good. So citrus vanilla iris. That can make me think it could be like a fresher fragrance with a touch of chocolate and coconut. The coconut still leads me on to fresh, but the chocolate kind of leads me on to more warm. So Diego, is it a warmer fragrance or a is it a warm weather fragrance or a cool weather fragrance is what I'm asking. Ordered Bentley Ferment Intense and Michael Malol Ocean Noir. It's your first niche. Low Ray Ray, congrats. From what I've heard, Ocean Noir is like a different version of Versace's Dylan Blue. I love Dylan Blue. I've never tried Ocean Noir. I would definitely want to try Ocean Noir just because I love Dylan Blue and it's like a different version of Dylan Blue. So hopefully it's good, Low Ray Ray. It seems to be very popular with people around mine and your age. 600 views. 600 views is good. Was that 600 on a YouTube short or what? We're the number one seed in March Madness. Also a great day to be a Gator fan. For college sports, I'm more like a UCLA fan. I'm not a huge college fan, and like the UCLA shirt that I have that I wear, I just wear it because I like it. Like I like the school. I like a lot of the NBA players who came out of UCLA. I'm just not a huge like really if I'm watching basketball, I'm watching the NBA. Sometimes I'll watch the college games. Like I know I watched Paulo Banchero play at Duke. You know, some stuff like that I will watch, but for the most part, I'm just watching the NBA. A short, gotcha, C2. Shorts for me, I average around like 400 for a short. I'm not completely sure. It's a very versatile fragrance. Get about 7 hours. Great, versatile for any occasion. See, and that's another one of those fragrance where it seems like it combines like a warm weather fragrance with a cool weather fragrance and makes it like a year-round one. Started a fragrance cologne called Cologne Crazy. Hey, JBFH, put a comment on one of my videos off that account or tagging that account and I'll follow it. You seem sick, you're good. Yeah, I'm good. I don't know what's going on with my voice. It's just like weird for whatever reason. Saw Montana and Montana State made the tournament. Yes, that was very surprising. I'm a Montana Grizz fan. Absolutely love the Grizz. Like we normally go to like we're normally like Big Sky champions. That's a conference that we play in because the Montana State and the Montana Grizz, they're both D1 schools, but of course we play in the Big Sky conference. But I think like last year we won Big Sky Conference, and we've just been steamrolling through. We've been doing really good. Best Cremo fragrance. I only tried one, and it was Spice and Black Vanilla. Spice and Black Vanilla was good. Less cinnamon, like Spice Bomb Extreme. The EDP is one I want to get in my collection. Last much longer with an added cinnamon note. The EDP. The EDP of which one, Diego? Hi, how are you? Maria, I'm good. How about you? But y'all, I'm very excited. I am kind of busting out the warm weather fragrances. If you guys look at my videos, you'll be able to tell that I've been wearing a lot more warm weather fragrances. And while I still do wear some cool weather fragrances. I am definitely transitioning more into the warmer fragrances, not even because necessarily the weather's been super nice, but just because like it's already March, normally by now it's starting to get nice, starting, to when I would normally switch. There's no snow on the ground. We're in this weird spot where right now it's just kind of rainy. So I still do have that option. Would I want a cold weather fragrance or would I want a warm weather fragrance? And then since I have like gym first period, I've been going a lot more fresh fragrances or just like more sweeter fragrances. So I would say I'm kind of transitioning into the warm weather fragrances. I'm wonderful. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I did not even think that it's St. Patrick's Day. I have no green on, so I probably need to do something about that after this. Amorous Ohm. Gotcha, Diego. Bro, Tiki Taki, we look the same. Bro, Tiki Taki and TT Fragrance look the exact same. Giorgio Armani is a good brand. I hope I spelled that right. I think it's Giorgio. And then Armani looks good, except O should just be an A. But Armani is a great brand. I have 5 fragrances from them. Armani Code Eau de Parfum, the discontinued one. Stronger With You EDT, Stronger With You Intensely, the original one. Acqua di Gio Profondo, the original one. And Acqua di Gio Parfum, the original one, because Armani is notorious with discontinuing fragrances and or massively reformulating one, or massively reformulating a lot of their like huge fragrances, which really makes no sense. I like Coach for Men EDT. I can never remember if I've smelt that one. I've smelt Coach Blue and Coach Green as well as Coach Platinum. Those are all good fragrances. I'm sure I've smelled the original Coach for Men, but I'm not sure on that one. What's the temps been up here? Like 50 degrees, but that's not really that bad because it's like in Montana, 50 degrees is like 7 degrees, 70 degrees down in, Texas. Or actually, I feel like 50 in Montana would be like 80 in Texas or some shit like that. Mike, you better be Gourmand King. Gourmand Gang. Don't join King side. Is King transitioning into fresher fragrances too? Okay, C2, here's my thing. I love the cool weather fragrances. Just the whole thing is that's all I've been wearing for the past couple months, I want the fresh fragrances, dude. I want them so bad. Yeah, my fault. Marie, you're good. I was gonna wear Armani Code Parfum today. Haven't worn Amorous in a while. That's totally fair. This is the Armani code I have. Code Eau de Parfum. This, so you cannot, well, there's, I'm sure, a couple Dillards or Ultas or Sephora's you can walk into and still find this old formulation of Code Eau de Parfum. But a lot of them have the new formulations. It's in a newer bottle. And it smells like Profumo. It smells like Code Profumo, supposedly. Code Eau de Parfum, the one that I have, smells like the original Armani Code with a lot of citrus, and it lasts a long time. I really don't know why they discontinued this fragrance. In my opinion, it's the best Armani Code I have ever smelt. I also found this one on sale. I was kind of dumb. It was Black Friday. I went to my Dillard's. I picked up the new Lamal Elixir. I bought that one full price. They didn't have a sale on it, so that was like 145 bucks. They had a sale table. They had a bunch of women's perfumes, pretty much the only men's cologne they had left. They had like Paco Rabanne's Phantom as well, but I didn't really want Phantom. So I grabbed Armani Code Eau de Parfum. I didn't even smell it. I didn't think to go smell a tester. It was like 90 bucks, and the retail on this is like 130 or something like that for the 3.7 ounce. And so I picked it up. I asked my dad, I was like, hey, can I get this? He let me get it. And when I tell you I tried this and I thought it was like the most amazing fragrance I've ever smelled, I'm not kidding. And it is literally the best Armani Code I've ever smelled. You should get Elegant Vetiver by Hugo Boss, best scent ever made. If I ever see it pop up at my rack stores, which I don't know if I will, because if I'm not mistaken, Elegant Vetiver's a more expensive Hugo Boss, but again, I could be mistaken. I just love this stream, and if you guys do, please, and if you guys do as well, please like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications to know when I go live. Maria, thank you, but yes, y'all, double tap the screen, drop a sub, turn on notifications if y'all have not. I've never seen the new batch with the, or I have, oh, you have the newer batch small bottle with the magnetic cap. So you have a new batch of the of Diego. Are you saying you have a new batch of the eau de parfum or parfum or both? I have no clue. You're not seeing enough movement. Same, I'm very supportive of every single YouTuber. Just showing love and happiness goes a long way. Maria is absolutely right. Now, like, obviously I'm monetized, so I can make money off of YouTube. But like the big reason that keeps me going, hearing people's positivity, hearing people be like, "Hey, I love your videos. Keep them coming." Something as simple as that, absolutely phenomenal. And especially if you're having like a hard day, like if I'm on a live and I'm just getting trolled and that kind of pisses me off, and then I go off a live and I see a comment that's like, "Hey, I love your videos, keep it up." Totally makes me do like a complete 180. Saw our money code in the racks. What size? Because you say it was 20, probably the best deal yet. Was it like a 1 ounce? Even a 1 ounce for 20 bucks would be good. Even like a half ounce would be pretty good for 20 bucks. Dominic, what's going on? Have Parfum, the dark bottle, the ones that come refillable. Yeah, these ones are not the refillable ones. If I'm being honest, though, I like these original Armani Code bottles more, just because it's like when you look at Armani Code, you think of these bottles. These were the original bottles they had come out in, and it's like it doesn't make sense to switch up the bottles. Like when someone thinks of Armani Code, they think of this. They don't think of, well, some people now think of the new bottles, but these are the bottles you should be thinking of when you think Armani Code. Same, Mike. I feel the same way, and it's like even if it was a half ounce new batch of the original Armani Code, that is still good because Armani Code just smells absolutely phenomenal. I'm gonna say now, granted, my favorite is the original Eau de Parfum, but Armani Code EDT smells absolutely phenomenal. Yes, it doesn't have the same longevity and projection it once did, but that fragrance still smells absolutely amazing. Right? They're original and they smell really good. Absolutely. I think the original Armani fragrances are so much better than the reformulated ones or when they discontinue one. Like the original Eau de Parfum, I love more than the new Eau de Parfum. I think Profumo is kind of overrated. Even the new Aqua de Gio Parfum, which is supposed to smell like, you guessed it, Aqua de Gio Profumo, I don't like that one. I like the original Code Eau de Parfum over the one that's supposed to smell like Profumo. I like the original Code Parfum, which I have like right there, over the new one, which is supposed to smell like Profumo. I don't know why Profumo got so much hype for the Code line, the Aqua de Gio line, and even, is there another Profumo? There's no Stronger With You Profumo. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't really like the Profumo fragrances. I think that like they're decent, but they're nothing insane. Armani Code, I'd take the original Eau de Parfum over Profumo. Aqua de Gio, I would take the original Parfum over the new Parfum or Profumo. Absolute's better than it too. I'd take the original over it too, and Profondo. Very going crazy with the niche pickups. Wish I could invest into them as much. Here's the thing. Niche pickups, the thing is, would you rather have $300 fragrances? Would you rather have 10 Middle Eastern okay. Would you rather have 10 Middle Eastern fragrances, 3 designer fragrances, or 1 niche fragrance? That's the way you have to look at it because, everything has a price. And that's about equal value. Say the Middle Eastern fragrances roughly around $30 for everyone. The designers, roughly $100 for everyone. The niche, roughly $300 for that one bottle. Which one would you rather have? Some people would rather have the one niche. Some people would rather have the 10 Middle East. I think it really just depends. I think I'd probably just go with the niche because I would want to expand more into niche, but it is very interesting to see. I wore Oud Marcouche yesterday, it lasted me all day, and you could smell it until the next day. Is that one good? Does it get compliments? Because I've heard from some people it's horrible, and I've heard from some people it's phenomenal. Have Code Absolute. I don't really think it's, well, actually, hold on. Code Absolute. I've never smelled Absolute. I've heard I've heard Code Absolute is phenomenal. Wish I could invest into them as much. Or I already read that 10 Middle Eastern. I think that's fair. And like, I think it really just all depends because if you have a big collection or if you already have a bunch of niche, maybe the 10 Middle Eastern is the way that you should go. And vice versa. If you have 5 Middle Eastern fragrances, go 3 designers, go 1 niche fragrance. It really just depends. Does Sauvage EDT last more than the EDP? In my experience, the EDT is the second strongest behind the Elixir. So Elixir's first strongest. I think for me it goes EDT or Elixir, EDT, and then Parfum and Eau de Parfum are like kind of the same, but the EDT and the Elixir are potent as hell. I'd rather have 1 niche to be honest, and again I think it depends. Diego, you seem to have a pretty good collection. You know, you have Oud Marcuja, you have some MFKs and stuff like that. Where for you, you definitely, the way I kind of look at it, I think the choices you go definitely more quality over quantity, which would definitely make sense why you would go the niche. Eau Forte is the worst Sauvage in my opinion. I'm not gonna argue with you on that at all. Now I don't really care for the Eau de Parfum or the Parfum. They are infinitely better than Eau Forte. Should have smelled some of the fragrances at the airport since you were there all day. C2, how did you not smell fragrances in the airport? I can even blame you. I went to Utah 2 summers ago, and on my way back, I was trying to find the duty free in Salt Lake City airport. I thought that they didn't have one. I walked up and down this airport trying to find it. Turns out they do have one. I have no clue where the hell that thing is. They must have fucking camouflaged it, dude. I appreciate the craft behind perfumery and I want to smell unique. And here's the thing. What Diego just said, y'all need to listen to that. I'm going to repeat it. I appreciate the craft behind the perfumery and you want to smell, and Diego wants to smell unique. That is the goal that you should be going for. You shouldn't be going, oh, I want to wear, or I wear cologne because I want girls to talk to me. I want cologne because I want to, because I want people to start talking to me. I want to wear cologne because I want to get compliments. That should not be why you wear cologne. You shouldn't be like, I want to wear cologne because I smell bad. And I want that to cover up my stench. That should never be why you wear cologne. That reason right there, absolutely phenomenal from Diego. He loves the craft behind the perfumery and he wants to smell unique. Perfect answer. Should I buy Sauvage EDT or Le Beau EDT? I would go Le Beau EDT. It's better than Sauvage EDT in my opinion. I love Sauvage EDT. I love Le Beau EDT. I would just go Le Beau over Sauvage. It's better. It's easier to wear. And in my opinion, gets better compliments. Was it the Salt Lake City airport? It was the Salt Lake City airport. Dude, I tried Shake Shack while I was there. I never tried Shake Shack. My grandma wanted a milkshake, and she said that I could get myself some food. So I went to Shake Shack. I got her either a strawberry or a vanilla milkshake. I can't remember which one. I got myself a chocolate milkshake, and I ordered myself a burger. I didn't get fries, which I was pissed about. And I saw them making my order. They put a bag of fries in there, in my bag. I'm like, dude, yes. And they realized that it wasn't supposed to go in there, so they took it out. They hand me my bag that literally, my huge ass bag that just has one burger in it and the shakes. I walk them back, open up the bag. There's one fry in the bottom of the bag. I grab that, eat it. Bro, it was literally the best fry I'd ever had. And I only got one of them. Anyways, the burger was really good. I love the Salt Lake City airport, dude. If I ever go back, I'm finding that damn duty free and I'm smelling something out of it. I'm gonna make a video on how you should always wear fragrances because people always love to use fragrances just for the compliments. And I mean, I don't know, because like C2, here's the thing. Are you supporting that? Are you supporting people wearing fragrance? And like, it's not a bad thing if this is the way that you think, but I'm genuinely asking you here. Like C2, do you think it's okay to wear fragrances strictly just to get compliments? Because I feel like me personally, I always tell, dude, I don't know what's going on with my hair. I don't know why I messed it up. I tell people, I'm like, hey, don't wear fragrances just for compliments, because ultimately, if you don't get a compliment, you're gonna be like, fuck this sucks. I don't know why I'm doing this. Fragrances are so stupid. All because you're not getting a compliment because you're just wearing it for a compliment. That's why I say, don't wear it for compliments. Wear it just because you enjoy it. When people say, oh, why do I wear fragrances? I'm not like, oh, just because I want compliments. For me, I like fragrances. I like the perfumery behind them too. I do a little bit of perfumery myself, so I can respect it. Kind of going back to Diego's, it's just like a art form. That's why I love fragrances. I don't think you should wear fragrances just for compliments, though. Tried Armaf Odyssey Aqua. I've never tried an Armaf fragrance. I tried an Armaf body spray. It was the Women's Club de Nuit body spray. Um, it smelled good for a like a $6 body spray. Need to go to Salt Lake City myself. Don't you have a cousin who lives there, C2? No, I feel like it isn't right just to wear fragrances for compliments, because you're not going to enjoy fragrances anymore and they're going to think it's useless. Oh, okay. So, C2, the reason why I asked that is because I was thinking you were saying, oh, I see, C2. Okay. I read it weird. I was reading it as, I guess the way I interpreted it is you were making a video supporting wearing fragrances just for compliments. And I was like, why would you do that? I didn't realize you were saying you want to make a video on why you should wear fragrances opposed to wearing them for compliments. Yeah, he lives in Utah, like 15 minutes away from downtown Salt Lake City. Gotcha. So he lives in Salt Lake City then, right? You're paying $300 because the quality of ingredients that goes behind that fragrance. Well, Diego, I'm gonna say there's not $300 worth of ingredients going into the cologne, no matter what. Um, I mean, in some cases, yes, there's $300 going into a fragrance. In some very, very rare cases, you're talking pure Arabian oils, you're talking pure, oud. Um, for the most part, they won't be around $300. There are definitely some, as I said, that do hold that value. But like, yes, like even though you see a fragrance with a huge price tag, that doesn't mean that. Here's one thing I want to say: because a fragrance is $500 doesn't mean that it's going to be the best fragrance you've ever smelt. Just because a fragrance is $20 going to be the best fragrance you've ever smelt. Each fragrance kind of has like their own pros and cons to them. Some really expensive fragrances smell amazing, don't last long or project well, and some cheap fragrances smell horrible but last long and project well. Each fragrance is going to have its issue. It's an art form. It's beautiful to see how people craft stuff, specifically within fragrances, but fragrances are just super interesting. That was another reason why I got into them. Just like the science behind them, the chemistry behind them, and then also like just how interesting and vast the world of fragrances is. Yeah, he goes to the University of Utah. He's a sophomore there. Gotcha, C2. Compared to designing, but it gets to the point and they almost smell the same. Exactly. And here's the thing. With when I got like my first niche fragrances, I was thinking it was going to be like this huge jump. I'm literally thinking I'm going to spray this fragrance on and it's going to be like a whole different realm. It's no different than me spraying on a $5 body spray. There's literally no difference. And it's like, yes, niche fragrances have, you know, a good wearing experience. So do designers, so do Middle Eastern fragrances. There's nothing that necessarily separates niche and designer. Now, like yes, the definition does. Niche fragrances only, it's brands that only make fragrances. Designers also make other stuff, but it's like there's no differences. Like maybe you can smell the difference in quality in some fragrances if you're comparing a Middle Eastern fragrance to a niche fragrance. Some people won't be able to even tell the quality part. There's not this huge jump. That's what I want people to know. I was literally thinking I'm gonna spray on Mancera's Instant Crush, and fucking alien's gonna abduct me from my room, and he's gonna like give me $1,000. That did not happen. It's no different than just spraying on a cologne, but some niche brands, especially like Mancera, specialize in making very strong fragrances that are pretty affordable. So there is definitely perks to buying niche fragrances, buying designer fragrances, buying Middle Eastern fragrances for sure. Do I agree on layering fragrances? I don't really think you should layer fragrances, no. Um, I think Jeremy Fragrance here, hold on. I think Jeremy Fragrance said this very well. He said you should not layer fragrances because fragrances, a cologne or a perfume, is already a layering of fragrances. What does that mean? What do you mean a fragrance, right? What do you mean a fragrance? City Rhythm Austin is a layering of fragrances. This is its own fragrance. This is not, fragrant like other fragrances dumped into it. What do I mean by that? What does Jeremy Fragrance mean by that? This is what he means. These oils, vanilla, coconut, toasted marshmallow, these are all fragrance oils. These are what you make fragrances out of. You mix these with perfumer's alcohol and sometimes a solvent so it doesn't um, mess with your skin or anything like that. These are fragrance oils. These are fragrance notes. Vanilla, base note, coconut, top note, toasted marshmallow, heart note, or middle note. So, yes, it's very true. Fragrances are a layering of other fragrances. These are fragrances right here, you know, or these are fragrances in themselves right here. You can mix, say I want to mix vanilla and coconut. Now I have a toasted vanilla coconut accord, which I can make as its own fragrance, or I can use it just as an accord. I can use it as a note. The possibilities are endless, but I really like how Jeremy Fragrance says it. No, because fragrances are already a layering of fragrances. Very, very true. Some people don't get it because they might have never heard of perfumery or they don't really know what's going into making a fragrance, but it's this and perfumer's alcohol. Pretty much what it is that actually goes into making the fragrances. Let's see. I need to catch up on these. Hey Mike, how's it going? Cologne Connoisseur, it's going pretty good. How about you? Any advice before I start getting my fragrance brand going? I know I'm not spoiling it in the chat. It's not my audience, so it's fine. C2, just going with an open mind. It's going to take a long time. Like me, I thought I had like a fragrance ready to go, a fragrance that I'd order bottles for, and I'd start, getting shit kicked off, start getting stuff getting, moved, start getting orders fulfilled within the next month or two. And while that still is the plan, now I have to go back. I'm waiting on stuff that I ordered. I have to go back and completely restart these fragrances. So going with an open mind and be optimistic. It'll end out good in the end. Opinions on Nub's fragrances, have nothing but love for that guy. Summer slash daily wear, Trothy Blue, Offnon, Theor, Ither by Fragrance World, Rasasi Huas, Latafa Fakar, or any other. Which is the best for a beginner? RV, are you asking out of that list or were you giving us suggestions for summer daily wear? Because if you're asking best beginner fragrance on that list, either Rasasi Huas or Latafa Fakar, best for beginner, Rasasi Huas or Latafa Fakar, I mean, they're both phenomenal for beginners. Do I think I'll reach a point where I'll only be trading bottles and not adding any more to the collection? That's a great question, Madhav. Um, I would have to say no, just because with fragrances, new releases start coming out, and then I'd have to rely on someone just buys a fragrance that's a new release, and then they have to not like it or have one reason or another to sell it, and then I'd be like, okay, or to trade it. So I'd have to find someone to trade with that might not even be in my town. I might have to ship it, halfway across the US, in hopes that I get a fragrance back. But I don't know. I think like it doesn't seem sustainable that way. Because you're gonna order your fragrance oils. Should you get essential oils or not? Do not get essential oils. No. Vetiver Aromatics is the website that I use, and the oils that I use that they work very well for me. Perfumer's Apprentice is super good as well. Do not use essential oils. Very bad. They can mess with your skin very easily. That's a mistake I made. Um, you have to use actual fragrance oils. Now, you can use essential oils if you really, really want to, but you have to be very specific with the essential oils you buy. You have to make sure they're skin safe because there's a surprising amount of bootleg essential oils going around. Got anything planned today? Hanging out with my girlfriend and hanging out with my friends. It's going good. Nice, cologne connoisseur. Didn't Jeremy layer fierce with oud? Seems like a Jeremy thing to do. I don't know. I know when he had said that you shouldn't layer fragrances, it was more recently. So depending on when he layered Fierce with Oud, his opinions could have changed. But it's also Jeremy fragrance. He kind of just says whatever he feels like at that time. Um, you're making and wanted a suggestion. Good criteria: Winter Gourmand, Royal Blend, Latafa Camera, or Kamerkawa, Liquid Brun, Kion Classic, or any other. And for a formal sitting or wedding, Detour Noir, Mahir, often 9 p.m., or any other. Winter Gourmand, go Kamerkawa or Liquid Brun. And then party and formal, I would say go Mahir Legacy by Latafa. I really am liking Mahir Legacy. It's citrusy, frankincense-y, kind of like earthy. It's like this citrusy, ginger, earthy fragrance, woodsy, slightly sweet. And then it has this like frankincense right there in the middle. Beautiful fragrance, absolutely amazing. $21. You cannot go wrong with this one. Liquid Brun is worth it's almost 1-to-1 with Altair. And that's why I said Kamerkawa or Liquid Brun. I've never tried Liquid Brun. I've heard phenomenal things about it. Again, I don't really want to, give a suggestion for a fragrance I've never tried. Ultimately, like, I wouldn't be purposefully misleading my fans. I would be accidentally misleading my fans if, that fragrance ends up not being good. But try Liquid Brun. I've never tried it. Diego says it's good, so at least we have someone. And then here's Blade Gibrainor, who also has it. So there's 2 people vouching for it. I would probably go Liquid Brun. Kamerkawa was phenomenal. But from what I've heard, Liquid Brun's like a orange creamsicle fragrance almost. Did I hear about Jeremy's crazy take where he said fragrance flankers are stupid? Original okay. That is something, yes. So that is something that I had heard. And I don't know how to feel about it. Because let's see. I'm gonna pull out a couple fragrances for this example. Okay, I have 3 examples here. Thanks, bro. No problem, RV. Has someone ever complimented a fragrance that smells expensive? Yes, yeah. Liquid Brun's my next pickup. Nice C2. First fragrance should be the best in the line. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. I can kind of agree and disagree. I can see where Jeremy's coming from. No, I don't think that should ultimately mean the flankers should never come out. Maybe, they come out in just their own fragrance. Maybe, I think maybe an idea of fragrances without any, like a brand without any flankers could be interesting, but it just depends because people fall in love with a specific DNA. People fell in love with the Lamal DNA, and now people's kids are falling in love with it in form of Lamal Elixir. So I don't know, because I do like flankers. Taking a look right here, Versace Dylan Blue, which is a flanker of Pour Homme. I love them both, but I love Dylan Blue more than I love Pour Homme. So I would not want to, only have Pour Homme. If they just release Versace Pour Homme and then they just release Versace Dylan Blue, but it's in a different bottle, it doesn't even have to be in a different bottle. You could literally just have Versace Pour Homme and then Versace Dylan Blue. Just don't make it Versace Pour Homme Dylan Blue. Just make it Dylan Blue. Vice versa, on the other hand, here's Stronger With You EDT and Stronger With You Intensely. I'd be fine not having Intensely and only having the EDT. Just because the EDT is my favorite fragrance. And then let's flip-flop around to my first opinion, Mont Blanc Legend EDT or Mont Blanc Legend Eau de Parfum. I would want the Eau de Parfum over the EDT, but I wouldn't be mad if I can only keep the EDT. So do I think that Jeremy's crazy for saying that? I don't think that I actually don't think that's a crazy take. Now, again, I don't think it means that the flankers should never come out, but they could just be in their own line. I don't think that would ultimately be a bad idea. I would like to see someone start up a fragrance brand without any flankers. That could be interesting. I'm sure that there's probably at least one fragrance brand that doesn't have any flankers, but yeah. But I don't know, because like a lot of companies, that's how they make money, is off flankers. A company releases an original fragrance, people absolutely love it, and then what they do is they make a flanker of it, and then people absolutely love the flanker. And what does that brand do? They make another flanker of it, and people love the flanker. That's how they make their money. Flankers are never going away. Not all fragrances are hit, and when one sells good, companies make sure they capitalize by releasing flankers. It's about business, not about perfumery or anything. Okay, Sam, I'm agree and disagree with part of that. I disagree. Like, it is still all about perfumery. Normally, when a brand makes an original fragrance and they make a flanker, 9 times out of 10 they're bringing in that original perfumer. So it still definitely is about the perfumery, that perfumer trying to make that best experience possible. Yes, the brand is trying to make money. Ultimately, with that original fragrance, that brand is trying to make money. It's about both. It's about money for the brand and for that perfumer. They're not just trying to make money. They're making, say Armani's like, okay, we'll give you $100,000 for making a flanker of Aqua di Gio. Alberto Marias is going to look at that and be like, cool. Alberto Marias isn't going to be like, okay, I get 5% of revenues from this fragrance. Alberto Marias isn't looking at it like, okay, well, I have to make this fragrance sell $10 million so I can have $500,000, I think Herba Gold, Herba Pure are good examples, but it can go wrong for a lot of them, for sure. And it's like, having a flanker is not bad, but when you're just going for like those cash grab flankers, that's when I think it's bad. Like the new Versace Hawass Elixir. Why are you making something that originally has the Invictus DNA, then have the Creed Aventus Absolute DNA, then have its original DNA with Hawass Fire, and then clone Lamal Elixir? It makes absolutely no sense. Facts, man, what's my favorite new fragrance? Favorite new fragrance? In terms of a new release, Hawass Ice, although it's been out for like 2 years now, it's still a pretty good newer release. Kamerakawa, I still absolutely love that one. That one came out, I think it's 2 years ago at this point, like a year or two ago. But my favorite new fragrance that I got recently has easily got to be Versace Hawass Ice. It is so good. I think Zoologist doesn't have flankers. I want to try Zoologist, but like they have Zoologist Squid, which has ink as a note in it, which I think could weird. It's also part brand recognition too. Many people are going to buy a Lamal flanker than a Scandal flanker. And it's like, absolutely, as I was saying, people's parents fell in love with the original Lamal DNA, and now their kids are falling in love with the, or their grandkids are falling in love with the Lamal Elixir DNA. DNAs can be used throughout, and really, as time goes on, people kind of stick with what they like. The people who grew up with Lamal EDT are not wearing Ultramall. They're not wearing Lamal Elixir. They're wearing Lamal Elixir. 20 years from now, people my age aren't going to be wearing Lamal EDT. They're going to be wearing Ultramall or Lamal Elixir. Louis Vuitton doesn't have any flankers. Do they not have any flankers? Wow. Bond number 9 came out with Green Point. It looks really good. What is it? say it smells like. Louis Vuitton is just really expensive. I agree. EU shrimp, what's going on? We have about, I think, 15 minutes left, and then I have to get going. But yeah, Rosasi Hawas Ice. Do not sleep on this one. Um, it's Rosasi Hawas mixed with YSLY. Has a super juicy green apple note. That's just absolutely delicious. So good. Gives it this candied green apple note on top of that already nice. So here's what Hawas Ice does. Hawas Ice, it's just like Hawas in the sense as it smells like Invictus. This, definitely fresher, icier. That's where they kind of get the ice from. I wouldn't say it smells icy, but yes, it definitely is fresher, cleaner, and easier to wear opposed to the original Hawas. And then has this nice juicy green apple that's very prominent. It's so good. I love it. It's kind of a freshy like Cherbourg, Green Irish Tweed, Greenlee. Definitely its own thing though. Gotcha. I had Greenlee. I really like Greenlee. Have I tried any Spice Bombs? I own Spice Bomb Night Vision EDT, and I used to own Spice Bomb Extreme, but I ended up trading it. But how am I liking Hawas Ice? I'm really liking Hawas Ice. As I said, this is my favorite new pickup that I got. My favorite new pickups in order would be Hawas Ice number 1, Mahir Legacy number 2, Eternity Air number 3, and then number 4 would be Latafa Ajayeb Dubai Portrait. Ajayeb Dubai Portrait, it's not bad. It's like 14 bucks. I'm just letting it macerate because it is kind of candleish, but that one also might be going to my girlfriend because it is kind of feminine. I'll definitely check it out. Which one are you going to check out, Fango? But yeah, I was at Ross with my mom yesterday, and I saw Eternity Air. I'd never seen Eternity Air. They had a bunch of Eternities. They also had Issey Miyake Low Dissy Poron. They had like a 2.5 ounce, but it was like 37 bucks, which is kind of, it's not like it too expensive. But it's not like the best price for Low Dissy Poron. And so I was like, all right, I don't think I'm gonna get that one. I saw Eternity Cologne, and I looked at the note breakdown. Note breakdown looked good on Eternity Cologne, but people were like, it literally lasts like 5 minutes, and then it's gone. And then I looked at the note breakdown with Air, and it looked like a good note breakdown. And smelling this, I'm pretty impressed with it. I do enjoy it. Ice, hey, Fango, it's so good. You are gonna love it. Under $50, designer or clone fragrance for weddings and parties. Under $50, weddings and parties. I'm gonna give you 2 fragrances that you can get total like 50 bucks. One for a wedding and one for a party. Wedding, I'm gonna go more formal. Party, I'm gonna go more playful. Let's see. What would be a good one here? Let's go. Okay. Actually, no. I'm switching this up. Okay. Okay. So, one for a wedding, one for a party, both under 50 bucks. Total of this is like, I think even under 40 bucks for parties. This is going to be your partying scent. This is Fragrance World Barakat Amber Eve. This is a clone of MFK's Grand Soir. It's a nice ambery vanilla. Good longevity, good projection. You'll get noticed, you'll get compliments. This fragrance is legit like 16 bucks. So good. For your weddings, more formal events, this is the one I will be recommending to you. Latafa's Mahir Legacy. Now, at the price, I guess you could throw in also Rasasi Huas or Rasasi Huas Ice. Both are good and you can afford them for under 50 bucks. But Mahir Legacy is what I chose to go with. Mahir Legacy, citrusy, frankincense. It's this fresh, earthy, frankincense-y fragrance. Super good, good longevity, good projection. It's a different fragrance all considered. But yeah, for like 40 bucks total, honestly, for 40 bucks total, this is all you need for year round. Here's your cold weather scent. Here's your warm weather scent. That's actually very easy. Here's your year round scent. Here's your special occasion slash cold weather scent. You could do it that way as well. But 3.4 ounce, 3.4 ounce, 16 bucks, 21 bucks. You cannot go wrong with these. They're so good. Low key, a dream of mine would be to have my own fragrance store. That would be a super, like, that would be a huge dream of mine. Have my own fragrance store. Obviously, I would sell my own fragrances, but I would also want to be like a discounter store. Like, I would have a huge section up front with all of my fragrances, and then, you walk towards the back and you have a bunch of, fragrances that I just buy in bulk. That would be super cool. The only thing is, like, move somewhere else to do it just because I doubt anyone's going to want to go up to Montana to go to my store. Fakar versus Hawa. So I've never tried Fakar, but I know it smells like YSLY. So pretty much like YSLY versus Invictus. Okay, well actually it's different because YSLY versus Invictus, I'd go YSLY. But Fakar versus Hawas, I'd go Hawas. So it's weird because it's flipped. I would say Hawas over Fakar. Did I get rid of? Oh, did I get Alfaris and Oud Al Lyle? Culture. I did not get those two yet. I have gotten some new pickups since then, but I've been getting a lot of warm weather fragrances. Like you'll see all the pickups I got, all for the warm weather. On our way to the museum now. C2. What museum did you say it was again? You said it was the. What did you say it was? It was some museum for sure. I cannot remember. All right, try Bawadi. What's the brand on that one, Culture? Finally, Mike, you realize no one wants to come to Montana. No, bro, Montana is an absolutely beautiful place. But is someone going to come up to Montana just to go to my fragrance store? No. If they're going up because they're going to like a national park, then yes, they could. Assad. Or Asfad? The brand is ASFAD. How is Kion Classic? I've not tried Kion Classic. Andrew Jackson Museum. Andrew Jackson, he was the... Was he he's like the second, third, or fourth president? I can't remember which one it was. But he was a pretty cool guy from what I heard. He's on the 20, I think. Is Andrew Jackson, is he on the 20 or the 10? Or is he on the 5? No. George Washington's on the 1. Abraham Lincoln's on the 5. Grant's on the 50. You want to know what I just realized? I have no clue who's on the dollar. Like, I know who's on some of the dollars, but I have no clue on some. My next live, it kind of just depends. I go live just whenever. When I do my next, I can. Because I'll have some of my friends over here spending the night. So it could do one tonight. Tomorrow. I think tomorrow at least will be my next live. Try Lattafa Najee. It's a 99% clone of Paradise Garden. I tried the real thing. If it's really not that good, I don't like it. Skibidi Toilet. Okay, Sabretooth. If it is, I'll refund you. So, Culture. What I did. Okay, I don't think Paradise Garden is bad. I just don't really love it that much. I found a good substitute for it, though. Tommy Vibrant Summer. Tommy Hilfiger, the brand. Tommy Vibrant Summer, the name. It's like a really nice, fresh coconut sunscreen. Kind of almost reminds me of Paradise Garden, just without like that fig and that aquaticness. Instead of like a fig and aquatic minty coconut sunscreen, this is just more like a coconut sunscreen straight up. We're good. I absolutely love that one, and this is like a good replacement for that. Do you like Nautica Voyage? So I had Nautica Voyage, and I do like Nautica Voyage. I don't think it's bad. I think it's pretty good. I gave it to one of my brother's friends just because simply he would wear it a lot more than I did. He actually smelled it, and he was like, wow, this is pretty good. And I legit looked at him, and I was like, dude, just take it. I'm not gonna wear it that much. So he took it. Which, obviously, I'm not mad about because I told him to take it, but... I just simply hope he wears it more than I do. Um, I'm definitely going like I'm definitely going, and I know I've been touching on the subject a lot. I've been really going heavy, heavy, heavy in the warm weather fragrances, wearing warm weather fragrances, buying warm weather fragrances. I'm really in the point where it's like I can see summer is right around the corner, like 2, 3 months max. Now it's like 3 months before I get out of school for summer, but like 2 months before the weather starts getting nice, it is right there. So I am just getting warm weather fragrances. Do I own any Lattafa fragrances? Also, have I tried Royal Oud? I've not tried Royal Oud. I do own Lattafa fragrances. I own, you'll see them, they're right there. I own Amir Al Oud Intense Oud, clone of By the Fireplace. I own Lattafa Vintage Radio, clone of Inishio's Paragon, Kamarakawa, which is its own thing, and then my Here Legacy, which is a clone of Sedley. Sold my Eros Flame 3.4 ounce to your friend for $40, only used it twice. Diego, you are breaking my heart, man. Diego, I low-key might have to kick you out. I might have to kick you out of the live for that, Diego. I can't fathom what you just said, dude. 3.4 ounce of Eros Flame for $40. Oh my god, dude. Okay. You know what? It's not the end of the world, and it is just an opinion. Diego, how much did you buy it for though? Because you easily could have sold that for like 60, $70, maybe even $80. Man, Nashville has a Nashville low key has a beautiful city. I think Nashville could be a really cool place for sure, for sure. Um, Nashville, that's a huge country town. Like like there's always a bunch of like country music festivals there, right? I'm pretty sure. I know Nashville is like huge with like country music. And then I know Austin, Texas is huge with country music as well. I don't know. All I know is that City Rhythm Austin says live music capital. So I would assume it's very popular for live music there. And I don't know why, but I just kind of think country. I think country because it looks like you have like the cow skull and everything. It looks country. Is Aeroslam discontinued? No. Do you do giveaways? I've done a giveaway before. I will do a giveaway. So right now I'm at 3,000. I'm at like 3,150 subscribers. When I am at 4K, I will be doing a giveaway. I think every like 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway. But then obviously, if I get to a point where I'm growing like 1,000 subscribers every day, I'm not gonna do a daily giveaway. I rarely use it. Micah bought it for 60 on Joma Shop. Plus, it was to kickstart his collection. I feel like it wasn't going to get around with that fragrance. Okay, that makes sense, Diego. 1, you lost like $20 on it. 2, you gave it to a friend. 3, it kickstarted his collection. 4, it seems like he enjoys it. That's fair, Diego. It's pretty huge with music. That's why they call it the Music City. I didn't think the city was that big. I would assume Nashville is huge. Just because, like you always hear a bunch of, like, again, country singers talking about, like, going down to Nashville, Tennessee. And it's, like, seems like it'd be a huge place. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, and it's so weird because to me, my city seems pretty big. My city in Montana, it's so small. My uncle lives in Fort Worth, Texas. He met me and my grandma at the Salt Lake City airport, and then we were driving to Moab. So it's like a 4-hour drive. We get in our rental car. We hop on the drive. We hop on the highway. It's like a 8-lane highway, bro. That shit was so scary. In Montana, we have 2-lane highways, literally 2 lanes on each side. So 4 lanes total, not 16 total. That was fucking crazy, dude. He fell in love with it. He said, bro, sell it to why not? And it's like, here's the thing. I've definitely done now, like, there's been some fragrances I've just given to my friends. Like, even when I was just talking about with my brother's friend, he was like, oh, yo, I like this. I'm like, bro, just take it. Because kind of like I think you realize, Diego, we got a pretty decent collection, me and you, where it's like we are in a position where if one of our friends is like, oh, I really like this fragrance, we'd be like, all right, maybe not necessarily, all right, here you go, but like, all right, give me $60 for it. What's a fragrance I regret buying? A fragrance I regret buying. Fragrance I regret buying. I'll give you two. A fragrance I regret buying as late as I did. Probably. Okay, so this is like a fragrance I wish I got sooner. Prada Black. So a fragrance I wish I got sooner. A fragrance I regret buying, on the other hand, probably Mont Blanc Explorer. It was like my second it was like my second or third fragrance when I bought it. For a 3.4 ounce, I paid like $90, and I could have got it for like $40 on a discounter. I regret buying Dumont Nitro Red and Afternoon Swim. Diego, you can send me both of them, by the way. Just saying. No, I've heard Nitro Red's good. I've heard Nitro Red is like Invictus with watermelon in it, which seems to be really good. We are after an hour, so start putting in your guys' last comments. But also, I have a question. I don't know if this is just me. With Versace Pour Homme, do any of you guys get like almost like a watermelon vibe to it? I get it's super clean, airy, watery, and like almost like fruity, and it gives me like a watermelon vibe. I really don't know why. It doesn't give me a watermelon vibe when I wear it, just when I smell it off the cap. Tennessee low-key beautiful though. C2, I think you really like Tennessee. You've been talking about how beautiful it is. Yeah, cucumber watermelon for sure. That's what I thought, because it's like it's clean, and it has this like fruity, almost like, I think it's because it's really airy and aquatic. And then it has fruitiness, which kind of reminds me of watermelon, because watermelon's like airy and aquatic. Driving on the freeway right now, scenery's just a vibe. C2, take some pictures and send it to me. Nitro Red's very synthetic, doesn't last like people said. An Afternoon Swim does is another aquatic citrus fragrance, only lasting 4 hours. So they seem to just like, well, Nitro Red has the Invictus DNA. Makes sense that it's more synthetic than average, but if it's too synthetic, that's where I can see it gets bad. And then just not having good longevity, that's a huge deal breaker for some people. But y'all, I do have to get going. If you overspray it, some people say it's got a runnery vibe later, man. Hey, Fango, you have a nice night, man. Yeah, hey, everyone else, have a good rest of your guys' day. I'm not sure if I will be going live again today. I could, but I might not. Thank you all for the support. Please make sure to double tap the screen, drop a sub, and a like, which I just said, if y'all have not already. Diego, have a good night. C2, have a good night. Everyone have a good night. Stay safe. Peace, everyone.